Hello, back to Lily, Little Lily Princess. Oh my god, what am I playing with? What am I doing with my life again? On Sunday morning, the students are gathered in the entrance of Miss Minchin's secret cemetery. Cimerary. Why, English? Just why? Girls, are you ready? Form up in line behind Liviana. Sarah, dear, it is our custom to walk to and from church every Sunday when the weather permits. That allows the horses a day of rest and ensures that students receive regular exercise. It's important to look your best when we are walking among the public. We want our school to always leave a good impression. You should follow Liviana's cues. She will show you what to do. Liviana is always a modeled student. As she hears her name, Liviana smiles and tilts her head. You can learn a great deal from Liviana, dear, and as her father is also posted in India, the two of you should have much in common. I'm sure you'll make close friends. Now go and stand behind her. Sarah makes her way to the front of the line, where Jessica and Liliana stood close. What are you doing? Go to the back. Miss Miana told me to stand behind you. She says you were a model. Oh, very well then. But that's my place. You wouldn't want to disobey Miss Minchin, would you? No. We have to show our new girl how to behave herself in church. She may never have seen one before. Sarah thought it wisest to remain silent. Oh God, what am I doing? Oh, yeah. Here we go. I don't. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep it. Tea party again. I did too. Yeah, let's try it. And instead of read a book, write a diary. Let's see what that does. Gain Monday, reading. Gain books. Tuesday, gain what I think. I forget what that is. Gain. I forget it. All of these things. Gain book, art, and I think that's religion. I don't really remember. Dancing. I gotta. Knowledge, artistry, figure, grace, and belief. Okay. That's what that was. A knock came at the door. Sarah, dear. Yes, is there. Oh, hello. Bonjour, Masmerelda. Miss Munchin hissed through her teeth, and the young woman in the maid's uniform fell silent. Sarah, before he left, your father arranged a maid to be employed, especially for your needs. She's just arrived. I believe she's from France. Yes? Her name is Margaret, and she will be living in your rooms, helping you with your clothes in the morning and anything else you require. Please use her as your liaison with the staff. If you need a food, send your maid rather than speaking to the cook direct. And don't let her fool you. She does not speak the queen's tongue. She swept out of the room, leaving the maid and her new little mistress blinking at each other in confusion. Oh my god. Bonjour, Marita. Je m'appelle Sarah. Comment allez-vous? I can't. Très bien, merci. And I am pleased to see that as your papa described you. Oh my fucking god. I can barely speak English, motherfuckers. I can't speak French. You get my sister. Wait, what did he say? That no other little girl is as solemn as you. That you would make me smile. I would be. But why would being solemn make somebody smile? It is your je ne sais quoi. It is you. Now, why don't you show me around your rooms? Okay, so I could. I'm going to. I'm going to be living with the maid, so let's do this. And I don't have patience to mess with Jessica. I need more patience. Okay, play event. Marianne, is it alright if I ask you a few questions about yourself? Bonjour, Mons Morelida. What do you wish to know? Well, what is your family name? Miss Minchin didn't say. Dumas Masmerada. Oh, are you relative to the French writer, the author of the Three Musketeers? I doubt she would be a maid. Marinette chuckles kindly. Non-Mesmerada. Well, not in a close way. I am not. There are many of the name Dumas, and I cannot know what connection there are between all people. Do you know all of your cousins, and your cousins' cousins, and all who bear the name Cruy? I do not know anyone else named Cruy except for myself and my papa. So, you see, I cannot say who my relative might be at some distance. Sarah nodded. Where in France do you come from? I grew up in Liamos. You may have heard of the Liamos box, the porcelain? Sarah shook her head. Well, they were famous once. Perhaps they will be again. For now, like much of Liamos, they have faded. What is it like there? What is it like anywhere? There's a city, not so large as Paris or London, no. Is it near Paris? No. Pasture porcelain. It's in the south. You must rely on the railways to travel between them. All trains lead to Paris. Sarah traced the picture. She did not know Leo Gauss, but if it was in the south, then it must be warm and green, surely. She'd seen paintings of France, stone houses, arches, building, rolling green hills, hanging vines, and sunlight. Always sunlight, not the fogs of London. It must be lovely. As you say, Masmeralda. How do you come to take this position? I mean to say, is my papa and I did not have time to visit France, and I did not meet you until you came here. Did you meet my papa somewhere else? No, we have never met in flesh and blood. Your papa, he is a gentleman and knows many other gentlemen in fine cities, like Paris. When it happened that he wished to appoint a maid, he wrote to this Paris gentleman to describe you. And I have a cousin who works for this Paris gentleman, and he thought of me. So the arrangements were made, and I am glad they were. Sarah smiled. The gentle warmth of Marinette's regard was very comforting for the little. Oh shit! How do I get it backwards? Oh shit! There we go. The gentle warmth, very comforting for the little girl, one who's been separated from her family and made to live off a far-off place. It was true that Marinette was, for the most part, only another stranger. Like any other in Miss Minchin's cemetery, they're only just beginning to know each other. True, but you're living with her, so you kind of have to deal with it. And yet, Marianne was not a simple stranger who may come and go. Like the students, she was Sarah's maid, the beginning of her very own household. She might, in time, be the closest thing to family. I wonder what the friend my papa had in Paris. I wonder if he ever knew my mother. New week. Okay, go. It's the beginning of another week of classes. The students were seated neatly in rows at the schoolroom. Miss Minchin walked up and down between the desks, ensuring that each pupil's head was buried in her particular lessons. She paused behind Sarah, a book in her hand. Now, Sarah, as your papa engaged a French maid for you, I concluded that he wishes you to make a special study of the French language. Ah, I think he engaged her because he thought I would like her, Miss Martin. I'm afraid that you may have been somewhat of a spoiled little girl, and as much you always imagine that things are done because you like them. It is a fault in you, and one that we must endeavor to train away. My impression, Sarah, is that your papa wished for you to learn French. I've never learned to speak French, but that's quite enough. You may have never learned, so you must begin at once. The French master, Monsieur Dufras, will be here in a few minutes. Take this book and look into it until he arrives. Dutifully, Sarah stared at the illustrated pages in front of her. The Pere, the father, the Maria, I can't pronounce this shit. You look rather cross, Sarah. I'm sorry you do not like the idea of learning French. I'm very fond of it, but you must not say but when you're told to do things. Fuck you, Jessica. Miss Albert, the young lady should not make dreadful snickering noises like a horse. Yes, Miss Munchkin? Sarah, look at your book again. Yes, Miss Munchkin. It fills the son. The brother. Oh dear. Shortly after, Monsieur Dufras arrived in the classroom. The French master was an elderly gentleman with neatly trimmed mustache and beard, the hair that flew outwards in dramatic points. His eyes lit up when he caught sight of an unfamiliar little girl puzzling over a book of French phrases. Ah, this must be the new pupil for me, madam. Her papa, Captain Cruy. What is that noise? Is that my chair? That's my chair. It's very obnoxious, very ancient that she began the language, but I'm afraid she is a child is prejudice against it. She does not seem to wish to learn. I'm very sorry to hear that, mademoiselle. Perhaps when we begin to study, I may know that is a calming tongue. I may show you that is a charming tongue. One that I cannot seem to pronounce myself. Little Sarah rose in her seat. She was beginning to feel rather desperate. Si vos partez, Masmerin, je ne peux pas comprendre. She began to explain quite simply that Pretty and Fluid Anna did not understand. She did not learn French exactly, not out of books, but her papa and other people had always spoken it to her. She had read it and written it. She had read and written English. Her papa loved it, and she loved it because he did. Her dear mamma, who was dead when she was born, had been French. What on earth? What is she saying? Is this some form of joke? Ah, madam, that's not much as I can. She has not learned French. She is French. Her accent is exquisite. You ought to have told me. I tried. I suppose I did not begin right. Both of you shut the fuck up, you little shits. Miss Minchin slammed her hand upon the desk. Silence, young ladies. Silence at once. And the other students soon settled back into proper schoolroom behavior. Miss Minchin remained tightly pressed together whenever she looked at Sarah. This is why you don't have... Alright, Monday, read a book. Tea party. One second, I can't help. I need that. Oh, knowledge, artistry, patience, sympathy. I'm just gonna leave it how I am right here. Yeah, I'll just leave it here. Let's go. And again, knowledge. Man, vigor and I think faith. Wednesday I gained that thing. I think that's patience. Yeah. Friday I gained vigor, patience, and grace, I think. Yes, grace. Knew it. Okay, what are we doing? If the French language fell naturally from Sarah's lips, there were other lips in which it seemed they could not escape at all, no matter how long the owner stared at her look. Le père, the father, the mother. To immigrant, it seemed almost unbelievable that a girl from her own age could string together so many words of French as if they were mere trifles. Dismayed of her own failing, she was devoting more effort than usual in trying to understand her lessons. Her elbows rested on the desk, her hands under her chin as she repeated the broken syllables under her breath. She stared so hard and a bit of the ribbon from her pigtails so fast that she attracted the attention of Miss Monckton, who was feeling extremely crossed at the moment, immediately pounced upon her. Miss St. John, what is the meaning of such conduct? What? Move your elbows. Take your ribbon from your mouth. Sit up at once. Yes, Miss Munchin. Okay, bitches, shut the fuck up. Matters did not improve for Miss St. John when the French master himself arrived. Good bread, Brunlorn? Kind though he was, Monsieur de Fer could not help but smile at her pronunciation. It's not quite correct. It's being I can't. Oh my god. Hun, I understand. I get it. French ain't good for me. Le bon bang? I will kill these girls. I will turn. Oh my god, I've just realized that I am turning every visual novel into a murder, into a case that I need a knife and an FPS controller. Give me a minute. Control system. It'll make my day so much better. Girls, conduct yourselves. It isn't funny, really. They ought to not laugh. Poor thing. It was the way of hers always want to spring into a fray in which somebody was made uncomfortable or unhappy. However, there was no way for any hero to find or rescue immigrant from the horrors of education, at least not till the lesson period had concluded. I want to help her. I want to help her. Fuck those. Jessica, Olivia, and fuck you bitches. Note to self, go for sympathy. Okay, let's go with Marionette, because again, I live with this bitch. Come and see. Masmerella. You do not need to tug at me. It is a promise. I will follow. Her hand still in Sarah's, Marionette stepped into the classroom. I'm very sorry. I was too excited. It was quite alright, then. Now, what is it that you wish to show me? Well, as it happens, it is more of a wish for you to show me. Miss Munch keeps a globe in the classroom. I was hoping that you could show me where in France you were born. If it please you, Mademoiselle. I do not think it will make much of an impact for you, though. The distance between one city and another compared to the world, it's not so much. Dutifully, she turned the globe to bring France in view. Somewhere near here, I believe, would be Luminous. Sarah followed Marionette's fingers. Then she smiled to herself. You're right. It doesn't tell me anything more than I already knew. I could show you where you lived in India. Could you show me where you lived in India? Here, I think, or somewhere nearby. It's hard to be sure, but this is where the ship took us. Holy shit. Sarah tilted her head and considered her Marionette curiosity. You're different from an Indian servant. My Anna, who was always kind to me. but she would never tell me if I was doing something wrong or making a mistake, even if I asked for opinion. She would always say that I was right. It's very confusing, sometimes until I learned to ask my papa when I was needed to know something. Your papa wrote of you that you were a clever and curious child who was eager to learn and who would appreciate having responses explained to you. Yes, that is just so. Another sign of how much her papa had considered her needs and well-being made Sarah feel warm to think. Every time Marionette speaks to me, it is a gift from my papa. I do miss my Aya, sometimes, and other servants from our home. They were always part of my life, even the ones that worked directly for my papa. I want to say father, but I want to also read it right. Holy shit. Did not speak to me. They were familiar. I wish I could see them again. All of my life, I suppose my life hasn't really been that long, has it? But for all my life, I always knew that I would have to go away, like other children did. The climate of India is very bad for British children, so we must return to England and go to school. That's what everyone says. I wonder, is the climate in England bad for India children too? Perhaps that's why none of them traveled with us here. Perhaps that is so. If, as you say, the climate is very different, then it could be difficult to adjust. However, Mademoiselle, it is also very possible that they do not wish to travel so far from their homes and families that they love. Oh, yes, I didn't think of that. I do not wish to leave either if I had the choice. I would rather be at home with Papa. It's very difficult to leave all that you've known and travel to a foreign land, but this is a foreign land to you. Isn't it difficult to leave your family and your home in France? Marionette's smile was apathetic. Who can say? Perhaps it's for the best for all possible worlds. Oh my god, new week. And I think I'm gonna end it here, so I'll see you guys next time.